Hi guys!
Merry Christmas! I want my hat.
Oh, yeah. The hat! You ready now? Are you ready now?
Ready.
Are you sure? Scotty does!
Does what?
He does, done, didn't do. I hope you like that new intro, and I hope you were drinking coffee at the time that cat popped up and made you spit it out everywhere. I hope I ruined your laptop with that intro. I'm only joking. Okay, today is going to be like a new idea I've had, which is like story time, which is basically we're going to go like back in time to a past event, and I'm going to talk to you guys about it. So we did Australia, we met in Australia, and we met in Brisbane, and it was coming up, it was November, wasn't it? October. Ooh, shit, I'm in trouble.
Well, when's our anniversary?
Halloween. I don't even know what date that is. I'm awful at dates.
He gets a lot of spankings.
Anyway, I met Ali in October, just before Halloween, like the night of Halloween, and basically I'd organised my Christmas already with a few of my friends. So we had Christmas apart. You went to Early Beach?
No, Byron Bay.
You went to Byron Bay, and I went to a place called Tweed, which is right on the border of New South Wales and Queensland. And basically it's like a big river that comes in, and then we hired a houseboat there and stuff. It's kind of a weird place as well because it's two different time zones between each other. So like you go through the town and like you're an hour ahead, and then like you come back through the town and you're like an hour behind. It's really weird. Anyway, we're going to talk to you guys about our Christmases in Australia.
Yeah.
Did you have a good Christmas in Australia?
Both my Christmases were really good in Australia.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I had two Christmases in Australia as well. The first one was a bit of a downer because it rained all day. That was in Sydney, but the most memorable one is on Tweed Heads River.
Yeah, well, my first one was in Byron Bay. My second one was in Western Australia, which we just sat in a hot tub and got really drunk.
That sounds awesome. Who were you with
Oh,
on
no,
the...
it wasn't a hot tub, it was like a pool. But...
okay. Who were you with on the Byron Bay one?
I was with my girls.
With your girls.
I was with my girls! Yeah, because I had like literally no plans. I only arrived in August into Australia and I had no idea what I was going to do. I was kind of freaking out a bit. I thought that I had to go to Sydney because that's what every traveller does. They go to Sydney so then they can do New Year's. Have you looked at the price of accommodation in Sydney over Christmas and New Year per night? It's like hostels that were like £12 a night go up to like £60 a night in like a 20-share dorm. Yeah. You can back that up. I shit you not. They rip
I arrived in Australia on the 5th of December, and my hostel, I booked in for like 5 nights, and my hostel was like hiking up the price. I mean, this hostel was a dog hole, man. It was horrible. It was really fun though because of the people, but it was dirty, man. It was horrible. That's another story though. And New Year's in Sydney is another story. I managed to get into a flat basically, but oh my god, they just hiked the price. They went up like triple the price for this hostel, and it wasn't even worth the price that they had started out at to stay there. It was just crazy. I mean, it was really good, the fireworks in Sydney. I really enjoyed it, and it was an amazing show. It lasted like 40 minutes. It was crazy. But it was just so busy. It was just crazy, you know. You end up walking to different places trying to get a good view, and you end up just seeing the back of someone's head majority of the time.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to...
Well, this thing stupid that I did, I actually pre-booked some accommodation in Sydney thinking I was going to be there.
Oh.
But luckily I only paid the deposit on Hostelworld and I cancelled it. And then when I went off to Byron Bay, it was like, this was a few weeks before Christmas, like how are we going to find a hostel?
Yeah.
But we did. We found a 4-share dorm, which we just booked out for all of us, like a 4-share private dorm, whatever that means. Just booked out between us, but we didn't have any problem with doing that. It was amazing. We just...
Was yours like last minute Byron Bay? Did you manage to find accommodation there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we found like I don't know how far in advance we booked it, maybe a couple of weeks, and we still found it.
Yeah.
And still booked it. It was quite a quiet hostel as well, surprisingly.
It was funny, my adventure at Tweed Head. So I knew this girl called Durvla, which is an Irish name. It's spelt D-E-A-R-B-H-A-I-L. and she's a lovely girl. She's really awesome. Hey, Dervla, if you're watching this, I probably still can't pronounce your name properly. But me and Dervla got on really well. I met her in Sydney, and she had organised like with her friends to hire this houseboat, and this houseboat can fit like 15 people on it comfortably. And she asked me if I wanted to go like along, like this is months before I sort of met Ali. It was like planned way far in advance. And I was like, yeah, sweet. So I went on this boat, and there was 9 of us in total. And the only person I really knew to start with was Dervla. It was just a crazy time. It was just so weird. Like we, all I remember is I got the train from Brisbane, and then I had to get a bus, and I stopped off at a supermarket. Anyway, I was like, right, I need some liquor to take on this thing. I need a bit of food. So I got some like barbecue stuff. We had a barbecue on the top deck, and an ice cooler, and a proper kitchen like inside as well on the ground floor. Yeah, I got like a big slab of beer and some liquor. I ended up going there, and we were like getting onto the boat in front of the guys that were there, and on their website I looked after, it was like you're allowed 1 like box of beer per person on the boat. And I walked into the living room, and there was a pile of like, they managed to buy this beer called Orb in this gold can. Any Australians, let me know if you've tried that. Apparently it's a real like nasty beer, but it was alright. It was really cheap though. And honestly, I'm not joking, they had about 9 slabs of it, and they were like 24 cans in a slab. So the guys were just like renting the houseboat, were just looking at us thinking, oh shit.
And they were right to think that.
And we had to wait there for like an hour before we could leave, and they were like talking us through like how to work the boat and stuff like this, and I was the only sober one. And I was looking around, and they had all cracked into these cans and stuff already, and I was like, oh my god. So the guy's teaching me how to drive this boat, and he's like talking about the anchor and stuff, and how much to let out, and I'm not really listening, getting distracted, and how to drive this boat, and it was just crazy. Anyway, me and this one other lad were sort of the competent ones to drive, and we ended up driving the whole week, and it was just crazy, man. I mean, some of the stories from there, like...
Please tell me you're going to tell about the anchor story.
Yeah. The first night, okay, the first night. So what happened was we got dropped off. Oh no, sorry, we got dropped off at like a little area, and then he left on like a little speedboat back, and then we were like there. And we were like, okay, let's go down the river a little bit more. We had a bit of a swim there and stuff. So, drinking, had a barbecue that evening, more drinking, it was just crazy. And we found a place to park, so we started letting the anchor out. Anyway, we let out about 20 seconds worth of anchor, which when you're counting to 20, it seems a lot, and the chains coming out of it, it seems like loads of anchor. We parked up, and we weren't drifting or anything like that, we were stationary, and we were carrying on the whole night. We went to sleep, and I woke up, and there was a branch coming through the window, okay? And I was like sleeping in the living room on this like pull-out bed, and it had ripped, like it had like mosquito netting on the windows, and it had ripped through that, and there was like pretty much a branch in the room, and I was like, fuck. And I got everyone up, and like we were just like slowly like coming down the side of this bank, and it was just scratching all the trees on the side of the boat. It had solar panels on the back, and it had like ripped the legs off the solar panels, like the aluminium stand that it was on. It was just crazy. Like the little boat on the back, the dinghy thing with the motor on, was just getting smashed against these rocks. I had an idea that we could try and pull in the anchor, press the button, and it would like pull us off the edge enough for the outboard motor to go down to get us off the embankment. So I tried a little bit and it didn't work, so I was like, I'm not pulling any more in because it's just going to be horrific. So I just let loads more out, so we just stopped moving, and we just had to wait till morning, because when we woke up it was pitch black, and we just managed to like push ourselves off in the morning and managed to get the motor down and stuff like that. And yeah, it was horrific. Like, we'd lost our deposit by that time, so everyone just stopped caring about the boat. which was just nuts. It was so funny. The group of people I was with though were absolutely amazing, and like I was kind of like the outsider into the group. So I mean, the way they treated me, man, the way they just welcomed me in with open arms, which is
Irish.
Just, yeah. Irish people are so much fun and they're so cool, so down to earth.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was awesome. I've got a few more stories, but I'm gonna ask Ali about Byron Bay because you did something crazy in Byron Bay, didn't you?
How can I follow that? Oh god. Okay. When we went to Byron Bay, we did a few things. We did hang gliding, which was alright. It got a bit boring once you got up there. The novelty of just throwing yourself off a cliff and hope the wind catches you just right mathematically, it gets old. But that was fun. We went horse riding on the beach, but I know the story you want me to tell, because neither of those are exciting, as I didn't get flung from the horse and we didn't crash hang gliding. The story you want to tell is when we all went skinny dipping. Yeah, that one. Alright, so Laura, love you and miss you loads. It was her 30th birthday. So, and she had never been skinny dipping. Well, it was time that we introduced her to the greatness, which is getting your clothes up and praying no one takes them when you're in the water. So it was dark, we went down to Byron Bay Beach, and if you've never been there, it's really long. Like, the beach just goes for miles. And there was no one on it, obviously, because it was like midnight. So we all kit off, we legged it in, and we are laughing our bollocks off. Because we didn't have clothes, so bollocks is the only thing that's left. Having so much fun, just the girls laughing under the moonlight. And then we came back up. Now we made sure to try not to drift, because, you know, it was very calm, but you still drift, you still lose, especially when it's pitch black. And we walked straight up the beach again, to where we thought we came down, and there were no clothes there. So instantly was like, well, alright then, looks like we're walking through the town of Byron Bay naked, and we looked for a good hour, 45 minutes, an hour.
That's a long time to be naked on the beach.
We went up and down, and up and down. We kept walking up and down the beach.
Was it pitch black? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
There was a couple of lights from the back of the beach where people lived in the little huts.
So even like clothes, because it's so dark, clothes look like sand.
Yes.
Yeah.
You had to get close to see anything.
Yeah.
So we just kept searching, and it got to the point where we just all looked at each other and we were like, there was no point freaking out because it was just hilarious, and we weren't alone, and we were really drunk, so that helped. Eventually we did find our clothes, which was kind of disappointing because we all were getting the guts to have to walk back naked. But that didn't happen, unfortunately. But that was my craziest moment, Christmas abroad. Yeah, that was fun. Enjoyed that.
So back to the houseboat. We did that on the first night. Anyway, one of us, no, I think it was me. I think I was the most sensible one there, to be honest. And I found a manual, which was on the table in the middle of the room. Just a slab of beer was on top of it, so no one's seen it. We found the manual, and it said you have to let out a minute's worth of anchor. So once we knew that, we were sweet. And a minute is a long time, man. That is a lot of chain. But yeah, you've got to make it like gradually go out to like dig in. We didn't know that at the time, so.
You'll never forget it now.
Yeah, I'll never forget that now. Anyway, we had like a great couple of days after that, like going up and down the river. We managed to like stop off a few times and get onto the shore with a little boat and like get more ice for the cooler and stuff and a little bit of grub from the petrol stations. And we had an amazing time. We got so far up the river that we ended up like coming back. And there was one other night that we ended up like pitching ourselves on a sandbank, kind of on purpose. Which was really cool, and then in the morning like the tide came back in and like lifted us off, which was really awesome. But where we sat on the sandbank, there was like a little island, and like pretty much everyone except like 3 of us, including me, wanted to go and sleep on this little sandy island. And when I was in Australia already, I was destroyed by sandflies on a riverbank, and I was like, I am not getting bitten by sandflies.
They're horrific.
Yeah. So everyone's pissed up. I remember, I can't remember the names of the guys, sorry, but I remember one of the lads like walking in this little bit of water to get to the island, and it was probably like 15 meters from the boat to the island, and it was only like half a meter deep. So you like pulled up your shorts a little bit and walked through. Anyway, I was on the top, and your man was walking like across, and there was a stingray swimming. And I was like, whoa, 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 stop, stop, stop. And literally he was just about to stand on it. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to be another Steve Irwin moment. Stingray death. So yeah, that was crazy. Anyway, the next morning, they come off this island, right? You want to see the state of them. It was so bad.
You did warn them, so...
I did warn them, yeah. Oh, I didn't warn them, actually. I just kept that to myself. I didn't say to anyone, be careful of sandflies. I was just like... so drunk, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that, and I just carried on drinking.
You did?
Oh, that's hilarious. So we did that, and then it was cool, everything's happening. I mean, there's loads of stories throughout the whole thing, but I can't cover everything. The other big story is, we were parked up for a little while in this one place. It was a really cool, awesome area, and we're doing like fishing. We've got like a crab net that we're dropping down, pulling up crabs, and it was just awesome. And our toilet had backed up, so we needed to get like the guy to come out and empty the toilet. But in the middle of the night, okay, one of the lads had gone to shore with the little boat, because it had already backed up, to have a poo on the sand behind a log. And he came back, and because he's drunk, he didn't even tie the little boat to their houseboat. So I woke up in the morning and I was like, fuck, the toilet's still blocked. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna get the little boat and I'm gonna nip over to McDonald's and I'll bring everyone like breakfast back. So I go out the back and I'm like, where's the little boat? So I go out the front, no little boat. Look down the sides. No, I did this like 10 times. I don't know why. I thought at the time, I'm so hungover, I just can't see the boat. And then I was like, Dervla, where's the little boat? And she's like, at the back. And I was like, and she went to the back and then went to the front and then looked down the sides. And we both looked at each other and we were like, oh shit. So we needed the toilet emptied and we couldn't get back to the shore. We could have swam, but there's no point swimming over there. So we had to call the guy out. So the guy came out. I'm sorry if you're watching this, by the way, the owner of this boat company, because like, this is what actually happened. So the guy came out and he's like, oh, where's the little rib? And we were like, a couple of people have gone to shore to get something out of their car. And he's like, oh, okay. And like, there was only 9 of us. It was not like there was loads of us. Yeah. So like, he could have worked it out if he wanted to. Anyway, he drove us back to like the depot where he parked up and could empty the shit out. And as we were going, I was standing next to him, talking to him, trying to distract him, you know, not to like notice everyone was there and someone was supposed to be gone. And as I looked past him out the window, I saw our boat. And it was like, it was quite far away, but it was just like bobbing up and down next to these rocks. And I was just like, Deborah, look over there. And I was like, that's our boat. And she's like, no fucking way. So like everyone like ended up getting to know that the boat was there, and we were trying to not make him look to the left because he would have seen it. So we get back to the jetty place. Anyway, me and a lad walk like out along the road to where these rocks are, where the little boat is, and we managed to get in the boat. And some really nice person had jumped in it and actually took the little anchor out of it and put it in the rocks so it wouldn't have like floated away. And the engine was like up, so nothing got bashed on there and stuff like that. So that was really lucky. And yeah, we got back in the boat and then we met the boat back to where the guy reparked it and left. So that was hilarious, like losing that little boat. I think it would have cost us about $3,000 or $4,000 to replace it. So that was so lucky.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Well, none of you got your deposit back, did you?
Well, none of us got our deposit back
because
we wrecked the boat. Luckily, I didn't actually pay any of the deposit because, like, I was like a latecomer to the thing, and I don't think I even contributed to the money. I think it was just like, yeah, okay. But the biggest reason we didn't get the deposit back was one of the lads, like, as we were coming back in to give it back to them, he threw up all over the floor in his bedroom. And, like, as we were getting off, the cleaners were coming on, so we weren't even, like, gone at this point. And they walked in and they were like, oh my God, there's sick everywhere. And yeah, I mean, if you're gonna go on a houseboat trip, don't go with Irish people. They're amazing, they're amazing fun, but they're just too crazy. They're unpredictable messes. I'm sorry if you are Irish, I love the Irish. I've got a lot of Irish friends, but my God. Irish people and alcohol is a very messy situation.
Always.
And yeah, it was just such a fun time. Such a cool trip. I love them guys. Like, they'll be friends forever, you know. And it was just an amazing Christmas. I mean, my first Christmas in Sydney was a little bit boring, because it rained all the time, and it was kind of like we didn't have much money between any of us. And Dervla was there at that Christmas as well in Sydney. And this other Christmas, even though it wasn't with you, it was just like, it was so much fun. I'm glad you wasn't there. So much fun.
We actually, fun fact, to jump in, we have been together for 3 years, but only spent our first Christmas together last year.
Yeah.
We missed our first 2 Christmases together.
Yeah, because the Christmas after that, I went home for Christmas.
And I stayed in Australia.
Yeah, because my visa expired in Australia, so I had to go back. Yeah. That was the bad thing about sort of coming in on the 5th of December, really. But it did mean I had, like...
You go home for Christmas with your parents.
Yeah, it did mean I had, like, a good 2 Christmases there. Which was really cool. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed.
A long video.
Yeah, this story about how long it is, but I hope you enjoyed this story, and let me know in the comments down below if you fancy a few more stories. I've got quite a few written down already, which I really want to tell you, and yeah, just let me know if you've enjoyed it. Give me a big thumbs up if you want to. Hit me up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Links are down below. I've never said that before, and I'm quite impressed how I just did that. And I'll see you guys in a couple of days. Bye.